Hello and welcome for another Game Jam devlog. This time I joined a jam called Black and White Game Jam. In this jam you can only use 2 colors at a time. And the theme is loop. Pretty quite generic theme, but a jam is a jam. I quickly hopped on and made a blank canvas with 480 by 270 in pixel. My last game jam was a big fail. I tried to move out of my comfort zone and made a simulator game which turns out to be boring. So this time I'll be making a platformer. My inspiration is Hollow Knight. I immediately think the time I played it that when I died I always go back to the same bench that I saved. It's pretty basic way interpreting the jam theme, but this is what you get giving a pretty generic theme. By the way, this is not my footage playing the game. I rage quit and uninstall the game. My colors of choosing is black and white because I'm not that creative. I started dividing the canvas by rooms so I'll know how big and small my player and enemy should be. There will be only 3 rooms and 1 boss battle since this is just a jam. But I'll try to manage to make a lot of movesets for the enemy to add depth and difficulty for the player. Dying a lot is vital to my game since it's the only way for me to introduce the theme. Like always, I added the player with platformer behaviors and a pink camera to follow the player's room location. And because my game is inspired to Hollow Knight, I'll try to make the controller as snappy as possible. I also made a 4 directions attack which is up, down, left and right. It's a small detail but I think it'll help the player in a long run. Next day I added the graphics just to see the consistency of the art and also implemented the dash function for higher player survivability. To make the player know that they are progressing even when they die, I added a companion in the respawn area that talks to you and gives you lore and tips. 4th day in the jam, I made the boss and made it bulk and chunky and slow. I think it's much more intimidating that way instead of small and fast. I also made the rooms locked whenever the player triggered the boss battle. In that way players cannot cheese the boss. In the end result I made 13 attack sets for the enemy, from basic attack to jumping around the room like a kid. One of the key requirements making a good fighting game is juice, so I threw a lot of it in. The UI at the top indicates the health bar of the enemy which consists of a 100 and you can only damage 1 at a time, and the top left is for the player's HP which only consists of 10 health. Next thing I implemented are the audios. Good fighting games has those. It delivers more impactful juice to their games. So I open my Audacity and try to make different variations of single sounds that I yoinked on YouTube. Lastly I added an intro and ending to make sense of lore and story of the game. By the way, there are 2 endings, ending when you failed to kill the boss and the ending where you don't suck. And that's basically the whole game. The next clip will be me playing the whole game. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to follow more Game Jam devlogs. That's it for now, thanks for watching, and see you in the next devlog.